Welcome to Word of the Day Wednesdays, although it is Tuesday. As many of you guys know, I'll be unavailable tomorrow. So I am doing this now on Tuesday, and it'll be available on my YouTube page. So thank you for tuning in. My name is Nicole D. Miller, author of Stories for the Urban Soul. Stories for the Urban Soul is a compilation of short stories, novellas, and poetry depicting Black characters dealing with everyday life issues, from social injustices to heartbreak to healing, parenting, friendships, sisterhoods, with a spiritual base, hopeful encouragement, heartwarming, and faith-based. So, to learn more, go to NicoleDMiller.com. All right, let's get started. So welcome to Word of the Day Wednesday. As you guys know, I normally do these to piggyback off of my latest blog. The blog that was released this Monday is called Let's Cancel Culture. So I know this can be a little touchy subject, but I felt very passionately about it, which is why I wrote about it. So it was inspired by the Will Smith incident, and I just had to share my thoughts about that. I feel like so often, so many people in our society who have demonstrated longevity of good character, quote unquote good behavior, upstanding backgrounds, and all of those good things, and then maybe make one or two mistakes. And I feel like they kind of just get banned and excluded from society and culture, and it's like the opposite of the gospel, right? So the gospel is love, the gospel is forgiveness, the gospel is grace, and grace is undeserved favor. And I just think we are missing the mark when we exclude people and banish them from society based on a negative choice or a choice that we don't understand or agree with. And I just relate that to judgment instead of justice. And I definitely am an advocate for justice. I talk about this in my blog with all of the Black Lives Matter movement and social injustices that we've experienced for so long that it's just now getting in ears to the world. My heart has resonated, with its message, with the Black Lives Matter movement. And I just talk about different individuals who were unjustly murdered and how I experienced grief as a result. But that is different than judging or justice, wanting justice and being an advocate of justice for these events or for injustices is different than judging people. When we judge people, we're kind of saying that we know better than them and that we can decide what their outcome should be. And in my view, only God can do that. So I definitely wanted to touch base on this topic because I just felt like I've received so much grace, so much mercy, so much favor with my own poor mistakes and folly, I guess you would say, and missing the mark. And yet here I am, still experiencing successes, still experiencing opportunities, still experiencing gifts, and it's all because of grace. So to learn more, you can visit NicoleDMiller.com. I do have just some things brewing for you guys. I just dropped a nugget. I think it comes out in tomorrow's letter, where I share that my Instagram for my publishing company is up and running. So if you haven't done so already, check us out at Nicole.dmiller. We're getting started with all the things concerning publishing. So if you are a wannabe author, a soon-to-be author, definitely you can schedule a consultation with me if you go to NicoleDMiller.com. Have a think about it, and on the homepage at the bottom, you can schedule a one-on-one consultation. We can do coaching, we can do editing, we can talk about hybrid book publishing services. So, or you can slide into my DMs at Nicole.dmiller. We just finished our women's panel. That went amazingly well, and I was so blessed by the women who gave their time and input because they are all busy, all busybodies. They all have a lot going on. They're all very esteemed in my eyes and in their craft and in their spheres of influence. So we talked about losing us in relationships, us as the women, and just how often we can kind of get caught up in the men are caught up in our partner and their vision and their dream and their purpose. So we talked a lot about our purpose and identity and pursuing that and practical tips that can help us to do that. So if you missed it, check it out on my YouTube page, Girl Talk, Losing Us in Relationships. I'm hoping to do this panel quarterly. So we did the first one on feminism, Are You a Feminist? And that dropped in March, this one in June, so the next one should be in September. Stay tuned for that. Other than that, I'm chugging along on my novel. My novel is in the hands of my beta readers. Hopefully they'll get that to me by the end of the month. I'm working on my website for my pre-sale, and going to be taking a trip to New York so I could do some more research for this novel. This novel has taken so much out of me in terms of research. I have done focus groups, I've done interviews, I have beta readers. So these are all the things that you must do when you're an independent author. And if you're kind of lost in the sauce as to what your next steps are, definitely reach out. I also have an ebook called Self-Publishing 101. Everything you need to know from one author to another. So that can give you tips, and I have a web recording that's available on my website called So You Think You're an Author, or So You Want to Be an Author, sorry. So You Want to Be an Author, and that gives you some tips as well. So all of these resources for you guys. So stay tuned to my journey. Definitely sign up for the blog if you haven't done so already. You can go to my Instagram link tree at HTOHB and click on blog, or you can go to the website and click on blog. You can even go to the website and just, click on the newsletter and sign up for that. So I do a weekly blog and a monthly newsletter. And then, of course, I do Word of the Day Wednesdays. So thank you guys for tuning in again. Check out the blog. Let's cancel culture if you haven't already. Follow me at HTOHB. Follow my publishing company at Nicole.D.Miller. You can even follow my Facebook page, facebook.com/HTOHB. And once in a while, I do tweets at Nicole D. Miller on Twitter. And if you want to email me, if you need some more direct access, NicoleDMiller1983 at gmail.com. All right, guys, stay tuned. Thank you for joining.